Hi everybody, Mindy here. I just wanted to do a quick video so that we'd all be ready for the workshop on Monday. And the first thing that I'd like to do is have everybody go ahead and create a demo account with the same broker that I'm going to be using when I'm trading the live account on Monday. And that way we'll all have the same data showing up in our accounts. If you want to follow along with the trading that I'm doing, we'll have the same spreads and the same roll fees and things like that. So what I'd like for you to do is go ahead and go to my website, which is www.mindyyost.com. And then what we're going to do to open these demo accounts, I'd like to have you just scroll down the page of my website and click on the link for FinPro Trading right here, .com. And what that'll do is that will take you to a registration page, and it's really easy to fill out. So now what it says here, it says client login. Well, if you don't already have an account with FinPro, so we're going to click on the sign up button right here, and that'll take us to a little bit different of a window. And all we have to do is type in our name and your email address, and you create a password, whatever you want it to be, and then you go to the country that you live in, and we live in the United States. I think most of you probably do, but I might have some people here today that are not, so you just pick whatever country that you live in. And then you also have to do your phone number. And then you just hit sign up. And it's that easy. Now, what it's going to do, it's going to tell you to please check your email. Okay, so once you get your email with the activation code, you just type it in here. And hit submit. So what that does is it opens your account. Now this is called your personal cabinet, and from this cabinet you can open demo accounts or live accounts, or you can update your profile. To open the demo account, what we do is we go up here and click on demo account. And then what we can do is pick out what leverage we want to use, and go ahead and select the 200 times. And what this is, it's a 200 to 1 leverage, and that is the best leverage that they offer in this specific kind of an account. And then the type of account that we want is an ECN account. Now, an ECN account is the type of account that goes directly, your transactions are made directly by computer. There's no intermediary person who is trying to match your trades that you're making with other traders or anything like that. It's a straight through process to the big computers that do all of the transactions. So that's the type of an account that you want. And then here again, we have to select the currency that we want to use as our base currency. So if you're in the United States, you're going to want the US dollar. Now, if you are someone in Europe or somewhere else, Canada or whatever, you might want to select one of these other currencies. But since I live in the United States, I'm going to select the USD. And then when you add funds, what you should do is add the amount of funds to your demo account that would be most similar to what you would trade in a live account. And honestly, I really don't think that people should trade Forex unless they can afford to open an account for at least several $1,000s. And I just opened an account with $10,000. That's always what I start with when I open new trading accounts. So I'm just going to put in $10,000. And as far as that goes, for this particular exercise that we're doing today, where I'm going to be trading live, if you want to follow my trades, go ahead and type in 10,000 as well. And that way your demo account will be just like the live account that I'll be trading on. And then you just click on New MetaTrader Trading Account. It's just that simple. Click on there. Now, what that's going to do, it's going to bring up a page that gives you a trading ID and a password. And it's very important that you write these numbers down before you do anything else. Now, you should receive an email with this same information, but often those emails don't show up for whatever reason. So trust me, it's just better to go ahead and write these numbers down while you still have this page open. So once you have written down both the trading ID number and the password, both numbers, then you can click right here to download the MetaTrader 4 on your computer, whether it's a desktop or a laptop computer. Now, if you're trying to download it on a mobile phone, you can click here. But you'll just click right here to download the MetaTrader onto your computer. Now, I already have the MetaTrader software on my computer, so I'm not going to do it again. But all you would do is click Save right there, and then let the process of downloading just do its thing. That's all you have to do. It'll, after you've downloaded it onto your computer, it'll say, do you want to open or run it? Open it or run it, whichever is the appropriate response, and it will open onto your computer when you're finished. And it's that simple. So we're done with this part. Okay, once you have installed the MetaTrader platform on your computer, it will look very much like this, because what it will have is it'll have 4 charts here in the middle, and it will have a market watch window over here and a navigator window, and then down here is what they call the terminal window. But the terminal window has a lot of tabs that are going across the bottom, and it generally will open up to the one that says mailbox, and it will tell you, that you just registered a new account and stuff like that, welcome, everything like that. We really could care less about reading any of these messages. So what we're going to do on this terminal tab, which is this whole section down here, is we're going to click on the Trade tab from within the terminal window. And what that does is that shows us the balance of the account. See, this is the $10,000 that I just deposited in the live account. Now up here at the top, yours will say, Turnkey FX demo account, right? But mine is a live account. So anyway, we have that. Now what you're going to want to do on these 4 charts for right now is just close all 4 of them by clicking the X in the corner of each chart. And then you're also going to want to make the entire MetaTrader platform smaller. So what you do is you go down and you grab the corner, the lower right hand corner, and drag it up. Now, if it's a situation where you don't see these little slash marks here down in the corner of it, what you need to do is click right here one time, and so that you only have one block here and not like two blocks on top of each other. And once you have just one block right here, then you can grab the corner of it and shrink it down, and maybe make it, for right now, maybe about this big, which that's real specific, isn't it? But we're not gonna really need for the trading platform to take up our whole monitor, but maybe let it take up about half of your monitor, and that would be plenty. Just kind of like that. Now, the first thing that we're going to do for right now is we're going to go ahead and close off the Navigator tab by clicking the little X, and that will essentially leave us with the Watch List tab. Now, the Watch List tab has 3 different columns of information in it. It has the different pair names, and it also has the bid price and the ask price. Now, most likely when you open your MetaTrader platform, the first time you open it, it will only have about 6 or 7 pairs listed in here. And what we need to do is we actually need to load all of the pairs and then select the pairs that we will be using with our trading. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to right click any place in this Market Watch window, doesn't matter where, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go down to where it says Show All. Now what this does is it shows all of the different things that you can trade in this MetaTrader platform. And as you see, there's lots and lots of currency pairs, but there's also indices for, like, if you wanted to trade like stock indices or gold or silver or whatever. And there's also some currency pairs that are kind of shadowed. Now what those currency pairs are for, if they have a shadow in them and they don't have the little underscore after the name of the currency pair, what it means is that these are currency pairs that are set up for people who are doing testing on EAs, and so we'll never be trading with those. You can't actually make a live trade using those currency pairs anyway. So what we're going to do after we have told it to show all, what it's going to do is it's going to show you all of the different currency pairs, but also some of the other things that you can trade. Like you can trade gold and silver against the US dollar and things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Now what I've done over here is I've added the watch lists that I use when I'm trading. And so what you want to do is you want to take off anything in this list that is not one of these 28 currency pairs. So what we do is we start at the bottom and we just start right clicking on each one individually and then click the hide button, and that will take it off of the list. So what we're looking for is we are looking for pairs that include the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Japanese yen, the New Zealand dollar, the Australian dollar, and the Swiss franc, and the Great British pound. But if it's not some combination of those 8 pairs, we're going to take it off of the list. And this does take a little while. It takes about 5 minutes to go through here and click on all of these pairs and take them off. Most of the ones that we're going to want are going to be up at the top of the list. So, you know, when we're starting from the bottom here, we can just kind of go at this pretty solidly without having to worry too much about, you know, if we're going to accidentally delete one that we want to keep. Because if you do that, if you delete one that you want to keep, the only way to put it back on there really is to put all of them back on and then start this process again. But the good thing about it is you really only have to do this one time. But it almost tricked me there because we are getting into pair names that we do want to keep. Things like NZD, USD, and GBP, USD, things like that. But these ones that do not have that underscore after the name, we do not want them. We will not be using them. Now here's one that says UKO USD. Well, we don't want that, and we don't want USO USD, and we don't want XAG USD, but we are starting to get close to some things that we will want. We do not want USD ZAR. We do not want USD TRY. We do not want USD SGD. That's the Singapore dollar, by the way. We do not want USD SEC. We do not want USD PLN or USD NOK or USD MXN. That's the Mexican peso. We do not want the USD HUF or the HDK. That's the Hong Kong dollar. We don't want the DKK. We do not want the CZK. We do not want the CHN. That's the Chinese yuan. We do not want NOK SEC or GBP ZAR or GBP TRY or GBP CEK or PLN or NOK or HUF. See, we're taking off lots and lots of currency pairs. We do not want the EUR TRY, the SEC, SEK, the PLN, the Mexican peso, the NOK, the DKK, the CZK. Now, AUD, NZD, this starts the pairs that we want to keep. Now, what I do is I trade the 8 major currencies in the world. And those currencies are the Australian dollar, the USD, the US dollar, the euro, the British pound, the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, and the Swiss franc, and the New Zealand dollar. So anyway, what I do is I trade every combination that you can make out of those 8 pairs. And what that leaves us is 28 choices. Now these 12 in this list, these are my top favorite pairs. These are my 12 favorite pairs to trade, and these are the rest of the 28 pairs. So if you do not see the name that you're clicking on in one of these 2 lists, then just delete the offering. But we do want to keep the AUD NZD, the USD JPY, the USD Swiss franc CHF, the USD CAD, NZD USD, NZD Japan, NZD Swiss franc, NZD CAD, GBP NZD, GBP JPY, GBP AUD, GBP CHF, GBP CAD, Euro NZD, Euro Japan, Euro British Pound, Euro Swiss franc, Euro CAD, Euro AUD. And then Swiss franc Japan, CAD Japan, CAD CHF, AUD JPY, AUD CAD, AUD CHF, EUR USD, GBP USD, and AUD USD. So those are the 28 pairs that we want to keep. Now, the thing is, you would think that we could put this market watch in alphabetical order, and for some reason we cannot. So what it has done is it has taken the three most popularly traded pairs and put them right here at the top, and that's AUD USD, GBP USD, and EUR USD. And then they're pretty much in alphabetical order until you get down to the bottom, and for some reason AUD NZD is down here at the bottom of the list. And I have no idea why we can't shuffle these around to make them all fall into alphabetical order, but I've tried a dozen different ways. I can't get it to work. So we won't worry about it. But now the other thing that we want to do is we don't really want to watch these bid prices and ask prices. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our market watch window thinner, about like that, because we will have to scroll up and down in it. Now, if what happened when you did that, let me show you. If when you did that, it took all of these columns and scrunched them all up real small to where you can't read this. Well, the way that we fix that is before we make the column more narrow, what we do is we right click anywhere on the watch list and we go down here and uncheck where it says auto arrange. And if you uncheck that, then you can grab the right hand edge and drag the column more narrow and then just post it like that. So now what we need to do is we actually need to add a chart to our MetaTrader platform. So to add a chart, initially what we do is we go up to File right here up in the corner and we go New Chart, and then let's just click on Euro USD because that's always the most popular chart, right? And so what we'll do is we'll just park a Euro USD chart right there. And for right now, we don't need to make a bunch of charts. We'll just work on one at a time. And so we'll just fill the available area with that Euro USD chart. And once you have one chart, if you want to change that chart to a different pair, all you really need to do is to go over to the watch list and drag the other pair onto the chart, and it'll change. It'll change to whatever chart you want it to be. So it's pretty easy to switch a chart from one thing to another. It's just that quick. But a lot of people don't like the way the charts come out by default. So we can change that easy enough. All we do is we right click on the chart and we go down to Properties. And I personally prefer a white background to my charts instead of black. So I click on black on white, see? And what that did is it gave me a white background with dark colored price bars. Now, the thing is, if you want to, these are so close together, you can't really make heads or tails out of them. So if you go up right here to this zoom and click that zoom, you can zoom in on these price bars as much as you want to. See, you can get them pretty big. Now, we can also change the colors of them. And what I'm going to do is I am going to change the colors. So I'm going to go back to Properties, and I'm going to be using bar charts and not candles. So on my bar chart going up, I'm going to change the color of it to this deep dark green. And then the down color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to, I'm looking for this pumpkin color. Yeah, we'll just do chocolate, because chocolate actually to my eyes looks kind of red because I have vision issues. And the reason I'm not picking a red color is because I want to differentiate a little bit between the bars and some of the indicators that I'll be putting on the chart, which are red. So by having the positive bars be green or blue or something like that, and then using this chocolate color for the down bars, I'm able to see it a little bit better. So that's the only reason for that. Now, I don't really do a lot of my charting in MetaTrader because I have a professional charting program that I use instead. But I do like to keep a couple of very basic indicators on my MetaTrader charts. And so let's go put those on right now. So let's go up to Insert, and then we'll go down to Indicators, and then we'll go down to Trend Indicators, and then we'll go across to Moving Average. Now, the moving averages that I do like using a 9. So key in 9 in the first block, and then I like to use exponential moving averages. So click the drop down box and select exponential, and then I like to use a bright red color. So we'll just use this one right here, nice bright red. And then I also make the line weight, which is this box right here, the second choice down, because if you make it the first choice, the line is so light it doesn't quite look right. And then I hit OK. Now, so now I have one moving average. But what I like to do is I like to use 2 moving averages, because it gives me a better perspective of what the market's really doing. So I'm going to go to Insert, over to Indicators, down to Trend Indicators, over to Moving Average, and I'm going to add another moving average, but this time I'm going to make the length of 7. I'm going to keep it as an exponential moving average. I'm going to change the color to green, and for this I'll use this green right here would be fine. And the line weight will still be the second choice down the list. There. So now I have my 2 moving averages, and I have my price bars. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this as a template so that I don't have to go in and rebuild these moving averages over and over. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to go to Template, Save Template, and I'm going to name this Template White because I'm using a white background. And then all I have to do is type in the word white, hit save, and it'll save it. And that one was asking me if I wanted to replace a white template that I already had in the past. So I said yes, but yours won't ask you that question if it's the first time you've saved it. Now I've also sent you an installer for the Quantix Solutions X1 trade management tool. Now on the email that I sent you, what you will do is you will literally just download the installer for X1, click on it twice, and it will automatically put all of the files in the right place so that you will be able to use the X1 on your MetaTrader trading platform. Now, when you do that, the first thing that you're going to want to do is literally close your if you have your trading terminal open, when you install, when you click the install button on that installer for X1, you will need to close your MetaTrader program and reopen it. So that's what I'm going to do. I closed it. And then I'm going to go down here and reopen it. Okay, so when you reopen your MetaTrader platform, then sometimes what you need to do is you need to stretch this market window out and go in and click on auto arrange to put these columns back together, and then click on it again to uncheck auto arrange, and then you're able to kind of re-put that window the way that you want it to be. But now what's happened is we have installed the X1 into the trading platform. So to open the X1, all we need to do is right click, go to template, and now when we go down to the bottom of our templates, we will have two basic templates that have already been set up for the MetaTrader for the X1. And I like the light template myself. And so what that does is that brings the template in, and it also will bring in whatever indicators you've added to your charts. Like right now I've added a stochastic, and then I've added the 2 moving averages. So once you have that in there, then you can go down to templates again, save templates, and this time from here forward we'll just be saving the template as the name X1 Lite, and then any changes that we make will be incorporated into that. And so now we've done it. We have the X1 installed. We can see all the little gadgets here across the top and the bottom, and we have a nice white chart that's easy to work with. If we want to change the time frame of the chart, it's just this simple. You just go right up here to, the time frames and click on the one that's appropriate for what you're trying to do. And there's times when you want to use a daily chart or a 4-hour chart, and then there's other times when you might want to be using a 1-minute or a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart. But all you have to do to flip from one time frame to another is just click on the time frame that you want. Now if you come to a point like this where your chart's just all squished up, what you do is over here in this numbers column, left click and just drag up or down, whichever is appropriate. And what it'll do when it runs the data off the page, it'll readjust the data so that it'll come back to the center of the chart. So don't worry if it gets to the point where you can't see what you've got there very well. That's all you have to do to adjust it. And but you can go to 1-minute charts. Let's see, I'm just going to drag it right off the page, and then when I do that, see, it self-adjusts. Or you could do 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts. I found that what I use a lot on the MetaTrader chart, since I'm doing most of my charting in the other program anyway, but I've really been utilizing these 15-minute charts a lot to manipulate the trades that I put in through the X1. So anyway, there you have it. That's all you have to do to open an account, and then open a trading platform and set it up. It's just that easy. See you Monday.